Sponsored by Battle Tribe. For awesome stickers, patches, t-shirts, art, and more, check out our Etsy store, Battle Tribe.
Hey everybody, it's Matt Rendar. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a big black powder Napoleonic battle, about 1815. So it's not exact. We're not doing the orders of battle, but closely resembles the Battle of Les Hayseant at Waterloo. So set up the table roughly kind of the same way. You know, I don't have the gardens in the back and not everything's 100% on. So bear with me. We're not going by any big orders of battle. I've been painting up a lot of Napoleonic stuff and haven't had a game with it, amazingly enough. So I just wanted to get it all to the table. So, but this is the layout of the table. So I got this blanket and I added some roads to it. I got the sand pit where the 95th rifles were. And put some trees there. So it's not 100% to scale. I just got this hovel house miniature of the farmhouse. Set up the little orchard and then get the blue sky in the background. But it's gonna be pretty cool. I left it kind of open. I was actually gonna try to put another farmhouse over there, but it's just like, let's just give a nice field room to maneuver in. So looking forward to this game. And it's been a while, so I've been painting. I actually laid everything out today. I'm like, wow, I got a decent sized collection. But all right, let me just show you what the armies are right now. So starting off, this is what I've been painting. So we got 1st Brigade. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line infantry battalions. We got the commander. Sorry for the cheeky cam. He'll be leading it. So Colonel Jacques Strap. And then I have my general base is Napoleon Bonaparte and his little entourage. So that will be the general of the army, given the extra re-roll to failed commands. I have the other colonel leading his division. So this isn't based on any orders of battle or anything. I've just been collecting. But we have a old guard battalion right there, and then 4 other line units. So both battalions have one what do you call it, foot artillery supporting them. So pretty much 5 and 5. And I have some skirmishers in case the battalions deploy their skirmishers. And then the last brigade is a cavalry brigade. So I have the colonel leading that. I have some dragoons, crossiers, can't pronounce anything. And then some lancers supported by some foot artillery. So hopefully I can get some limber cavalry models. I think that'd be really freaking cool. So that's them. And then as for the British, the command, I have the Duke of Wellington and his little entourage. Pretty cool on their command staff. Really like how they came out. They as well have a cavalry brigade. So I have the colonel leading that. Got the foot artillery in the back. And I have Scots Greys. And then some light dragoons, I believe. Pretty freaking cool. So 1 heavy cavalry battalion and then 2 light, I believe. So then I have the second, and then 2nd brigade. So we have, it's going to be 4 line infantry regiments. Battalions, sorry, with their cannon support. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they're supported by the 95th Rifles. So, and then I have their Colonel Christian leading his men. And then over here, the 3rd Brigade, it's a little light, but we have King's German Legion, a little light infantry. I have their Colonel. I have Highlanders, a battalion of Highlanders, regular line, and then Hanoverians in the back. I think that's the first time I've ever pronounced that correctly. And then they have a cannon supporting them as well. So each brigade has a cannon. So the British are a little light. They're going to start kind of in defensive positions. And that's pretty much it. So let's get this game going. I had a couple people on YouTube that requested to do army overviews before I do the battles. So let's start trying to do that. So hopefully you guys are enjoying. Get ready for the fight and deployment. Deployment. So, not based on anything historical, ladies and gentlemen. So, we did an L-shaped deployment. So, the French will be coming on randomly through orders off the table. So, we have the British player has deployed both his brigades. He's holding his cavalry brigade in reserves. So, the British and their beautiful red coats are all lined up on that ridge. We got some Hanoverians deployed near the forest. And then you got the King's German Legion inside that building at the farm, and then the Highlanders all nestled in there with another line infantry. They're getting ready for the French to assault. So that's the deployment, and we will be back for turn 1.
There's nothing happened.
I know. Turn 1. So my brigade, under the discreet orders of Colonel Jacques Strap, had moved they moved up steadily, so they moved on the table. The other brigade refused, the old guard, of course, they refused to move up, and the cavalry moved onto the table. We have some of the British line to move down, and the ridge took positions behind that wall. Everybody else is pretty much in a really good kill position, so they moved, and the Hanoverians and the cannon pushed up to the edge of the wall. And there was some orders given, but very confused are the Highlanders, and nothing else went. So everybody's kind of waiting. So we will see. Hopefully more happens in turn 2. Turn 2. The French brigade on the left starts to make a large move towards the farmhouse. The 1st Battalion charges in and hits the Highlanders as they fire volleys into them as they assault, and they start to have a bloody fight. The rest of the other battalions are trying to move up. 95th starting to move towards the grassy fields to meet the incoming French. And British cavalry still in reserves, hasn't showed up yet, and the French cavalry starts to slowly move. The general staff, Napoleon Bonaparte, moves up to give the bonus rolls to any officers that fail their command checks, and we're still waiting on the center brigade to show up, which still hasn't showed up. You can see the British are starting to move down, so stay tuned to turn 3. End of turn 3. So the French made some command rolls, and friggin' Colonel Jockstrap ordered his men full charge to attack. He actually pulled off 3 orders, so they ran up and attack column as fast as they could. The one on the left flank actually hit the wall and close combat. A fierce fight ensued, and they got fired on by the Highlanders on the way into, and then the Highlanders routed them out. They took a lot of casualties and pushed the French back there. The other French are moving in attack columns, and the French cavalry moved up a little bit, took some fire, and shot into the cannon over there. And didn't do anything. The cannon fired actually did a casualty to the cavalry moving up. The British player, his officers ordered, and their men actually moved off the ridge into attack, and they're in line and began firing in there, causing and disordering this unit. So it's gonna get a little bloody. I'm kind of like wedged in here with my brigade. We'll see. I'm gonna try to hit the wall, but we are taking casualties. So the French and the British are getting ready to meet, and that is the end of turn 3. End of turn 4. Dismal assault. One French battalion ran, getting held off by the Highlanders. Big bloody fight. They end up fleeing off the table. Another line infantry battalion attack column charged, fighting over the wall, and the light line infantry British were able to fight them off and disorder them. They're hanging on. All the British marched across the field, laying fire into them. One of the another line infantry unit in my brigade got shot up and rolled crap on the brake test and took off. Monsieur Effinger's men moved up the center, and they're trying to fill in the gap. Cannons firing, his cavalry came rushing in, and one of the cavalry units, his dragoons, got just close, but not close enough to do a charge, and got hit by a cannon fire. So it's getting bloody. My brigade is definitely getting shot up. I only have 3 more battalions left, and Napoleon is not happy. The British are sitting pretty. Got a cannon back there. So stay tuned for turn 5. Turn 5. Both of our brigades, mine on the left flank, moving up, still fighting it off and getting shot to pieces, and the my partner's brigade crashed up the center in attack column, hitting the British in the field, and cavalry started to arrive from reserves, moving up. So we have this giant melee battle going on in the middle. Cannons exchanging fire on the road, and my assault on the the heavily defended farm isn't going well. The British moved their cannon up and are firing into my French attack columns, which isn't good. So stay tuned to see what happens. It's going pretty dismal on the left flank. I should have laid more cannon into that farm before I went in. Turn 6. The end of turn 6. Dismal. Two of the units of French line attacking got repelled once again, shot up. The Hanoverians ran down the road, charging in, flanking, and failed the morale. The whole brigade was broken and suffered mass casualties and fled off the field. Colonel Jacques Strat, sadly, returns off right in front of Napoleon too. It's very embarrassing. The French are moving up. They moved up, engaged. The French assaulted, hitting the line infantry, causing some casualties, but they returned fire and close combat and pushed them off. The old guard broke. Amazing. Everybody was astonished that just happened. And then British cavalry came down, crashed into the side of the dragoons. They fought it out, and the dragoons had a lot of casualties, ended up fleeing the battlefield. So the French are down a full brigade. The British definitely have the farmhouse, and we got some Scots Greys cavalry racing down the road, joined into the fray. So not looking good for the French. Stay tuned for turn 7. Turn of events. The British brigade broke. They took a bunch of casualties in different battalions, and they all started to gradually fall off the field. Big turn of events, but still anybody's game. British cavalry came racing onto the board, crashing into the French lancers, who almost ran away, but were able to hold it together. But that one more unit in that brigade, the French will flee. The British forces, and so you got Highlanders and line infantry and some Hanoverians. They started to march from the farmhouse to engage the French in the open and made one of the battalions just run. Scots Greys under cannon fire into the French, assaulted into some more French, so that's getting a little bloody over there. So this game is going to flip in one turn. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Stay tuned. Turn 8 is the final conclusion of the battle. The British, the Hanoverians charged in. Scots Greys battling, cannons blasting into the French lines at close range. Casualties were mounted. The French cavalry took off, was broken, and the brigade ran off the table, leaving one French brigade that got overwhelmed by the remnants of the British, and they have broken and fleeing off the table. So it's going to be a British victory. So we thought the French were going to get a shot. Not going to happen. Victory seized by the British. End of a good game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. like and subscribe. Until next time.